Good afternoon. Today I am going to start from Eco chapter People as Resource, page number 19. Economic activities by men and women. Now, those activities through which we can earn the money, that is known as economic activities. Like Vilas and Sakal. Yesterday you have read about the story of Vilas and Sakal. Sakal was a more healthy and strong, while Vilas was a patient of arthritis. Now Sakal is having a money while Vilas is not having a money. Like Vilas and Sakal, people have been engaged in various activities. Some of the people they are already they are engaged in various activities. We saw that Vilas sold fish and Sakal got a job in the firm. The various activities have been classified into three main sectors. Now those three activities are primary, secondary and tertiary. You have read in first chapter also. Primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary sector includes agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry, farming, mining and quarrying, through which we can earn the money through the natural environment. Manufacturing is included in the secondary sector. Secondary sector, when these natural products is sent for the processing to the industry, we call it as a secondary sector. Trade, transport, communication, banking, education, health, tourism, services, insurance, etc. are included in the tertiary sector. The activities in this sector result in the production of goods and services. All these three activities give the goods and services. These activities add value to the national income. These three activities, when they are added, they give the national income. These activities are also called as economic activities, through which these three activities we are doing, we can earn the money. We also call it as economic activities. These activities are also called economic activities. Economic activities have two parts: market activities and non-market activities. Now, market activities involve remuneration to anyone who performs that is an activity performed for pay or profit. Economic, through which we can earn the money. These include production of goods or services, including government services. Non-market activities are the production for self-consumption. Now, market, it is for earning the profit, earning the money, while non-market, it is only for our use, self-consumption. Now, these can be consumption and processing of primary product and own account production of fixed asset. Now here it's given and we need to read the activity. Due to historical and cultural reasons, there is a division of labor between men and women in the family. We are having in the historical and the cultural reason, there is a work division between the men and the women in a family. Women generally look after the domestic chores and men work in the fields. Sakal's mother Sheila cooks food, cleans utensils, washes clothes, cleans the house and looks after her children. Sakal's father Bhutta cultivates the field, sells the produce in the market and earn the money for the family. So Sakal's father was earning money whenever he used to sell the products in the market. Sheila is not paid for the services delivered for upbringing of the family. Sheila was doing some work, but she also used to look after her family. Bhutta earns money, which he spends on rearing his family. Women are not paid for their service delivered in the family. Whatever your mother is working at a home, she is not getting a money. So here it's written, women are not paid while they are looking after the family. The household work done by women is not recognized in a national income. This type of work, women who are doing the work in a family, it is not calculated in the national income. Geeta, mother of Vilas, earned an income of selling fish. She used to earn, Vilas' mother, she used to earn little money by selling the fish. Thus, women are paid for their work when they enter the labor market. Only women can pay the money and they earn the money when they are doing some little bit work outside. Their earning, like that of their male counterpart, is determined on the basis of education and skill. How they are earning? With their skills, with their knowledge, with their education. Education helps individual to make better use of the economic opportunities available before him. Education and skill are the major determinants of the earning of any individual in the market. Now in the market you require skills, knowledge, education to earn the money. So here it's written, a majority of the women have meager education and low skill formation. A very little women can earn this type of money through their education and skill. Most women work where job security is not there. Now many of the women are working in those conditions where their job is not secure. Various activities relating to legal protection is meager. Employment in his sector is characterized by irregular and low income. In this sector, there is an absence of basic facilities like maternity leave, child care and other social security system. Now women are getting many of the condition in the working stage like maternity leave, they are getting child care and other social security system. However, women with high education and skill formation are paid at par with the men. So sometimes payment also it differs between the women and men. Among the organized sector, teaching and medicine attract them to the most. Some women have entered administrative and other services including job. Now different women are working in our society, in our community. They are working in different stages, like some are working in the administrative, some are doing the teaching and some are including in the job that need high levels of scientific and technological competence, which they require more scientific and technological importance. Ask your sister or your classmate what she would like to take up as a career. So you are also having the wishes, the aim in the future what you will be in your career. Now next is quality of population. The quality of population depends upon the literacy rate, health of a person indicated by life expectancy and skill formation acquired by the people of the country. You know the quality of the population. It depends upon the education, literacy and the health. The quality of the population ultimately decides the growth rate of the country. Illiterate and unhealthy population are one of the liability for the economy. They are not earning. Illiterate people, they are not earning. They are, if the people are unhealthy also, this becomes a liability for the country. Literate and healthy population are an asset. Asset means important. Literate, those who are literate, those who are healthy persons, they are an asset for the country. They are importance for the country. Education. Sakal's education in the initial years of his life bore him the fruits in the later years in terms of a good job and salary. Sakal later on in his future, he got a good job and he got a good salary. He saw education was an important input for the growth of Sakal. It opened new horizon for him. When he got the education, now in the future he had got the better job also, provided new aspirations and developed values of life. Not only for Sakal, education contributes towards the growth of a society also. It enhances the national income, cultural richness and increases the efficiency of the governance. There is a provision made for providing universal access. Now it's becoming nowadays, not only Sakal had got the job and the education, but nowadays in our country, government had made a compulsory elementary school education from at the age of 6 to 14. It had become an important in our life. There is also an establishment of a pace setting of schools like Navodaya Vidyalaya. Now government had opened the Navodaya Vidyalayas also in each district. Vocational streams, different training like tailoring, like computer training. These are all the vocational streams have been developed to equip large number of high school students with occupations related to the knowledge and skills. They have got the chances in this vocational streams by their knowledge and skills. The plan outlay on the education has increased from rupees 151 crore in the first plan to rupees 3,766.90 crore in this 11th plan. The expenditure on the education as a percentage of GDP rose from 0.64% in 1951 to 52. So like this way it had shown how the people are entering in the education, how they got the literacy. So in all the percentage wise, year wise it's given to 3.11% in 2011 to 12. Now here it's written, human being is a positive asset and precious national resource which needs to be cherished, nurtured and developed with the tenderness and care coupled with dynamism. Each individual's growth presents a different range of the problems and requirements. The catalytic action of education in this complex and dynamic growth process needs to be planned meticulously and executed with great sensitivity. Now here some questions are given. You will read yourself and you will do yourself. Now next, no need to do the activity. Now here it's written, the literacy rates have increased from 18% in 1951 to 74. Day by day our literacy, the education government is providing and the people are entering into education center. Now here it's written, literacy is not only a right, it is also needed for the citizen are to perform their duties and enjoy their rights properly. However, a vast difference in notice across a different section of the population. Literacy among males is nearly 16.6% higher than females, and it is about 16.1% higher in urban areas as compared to the rural areas. Now many of the women are nowadays getting the literacy, the education, but it is still noticed that men are getting more literacy, men are becoming more literate than women. Literacy rates vary from 93.9% in Kerala. Kerala is one of the states where literacy is more, to 63% in Bihar. Bihar is having literacy less. The primary literacy means a person who is getting, who is having a capability to read and write. That is known as literacy. The primary school system has expanded to over 7.68 lakhs in 2004 to 5. Unfortunately, this huge expansion of schools has been diluted by the poor quality of the schools and high dropout rates. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, government had started the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, is a significant step towards providing elementary education to all the children at the age of 6 to 14. Now government had made a policy, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, that all children at the age of 6 to 14, they must have the education. They must go to the school. It is a time-bound initiative of the central government in partnership with the state, the local government and the community for achieving the goal of universalization of elementary education. Along with it, rich courses and back-to-school camps have been initiated to increase the enrollment in elementary education. Now, government had taken a lot of steps, the policy, to increase the education in different ways. Like government is providing midday meal. Midday meal, you know, they are getting the food in the school so that the children, the students, the children can come to school regularly and they must get a nutritious food also. This policy could add to the literate population of India. The 11th plan endeavored to increase the enrollment in higher education of 18 to 23. Now, children, the student must get the higher education at the age of 18 to 23. The strategy focuses on increasing access quality, adoption of state-specific curriculum modification, vocationalization and networking on the use of information technology. Now the students, the children are getting more and more higher education. The plan also focuses on distant education. The students are getting nowadays far education also, distant, different from far places they are getting the education. Convergence of the formal, non-formal, distant and IT education institution. Over the past 50 years, there has been a significant growth in the number of university an institution of higher learning in specialized area. Let us read the table to see the increase in number of college students are going to take their education. They need more and more colleges, more and more universities. So government must open more and more universities for their education. Universities enrollment of students and recruitment of teachers since 1951 to 2011 to 12. Now here some questions are there. You have to do by seeing the table these questions. Verbally you will do these questions. Health. Now this health topic I will start tomorrow from page number 23.